Hey guys, this is Eclipse here, and I just wanted to give a little update to the Battlefield 6 scenario, where EA and DICE have come out with a couple of updates as far as changes that will be made from the beta version of the game and the launch version of the game, of which they are making adjustments to weapons, uh, mainly in the areas of recoil. So a lot of the recoil for a lot of the weapons is going to be reworked a little bit. I know for the shotgun, they said that it would require more pellets per shot to kill someone, which means you'll just have to be either a little bit closer, a little bit more accurate with your shots. You may not be able to one-tap people from 30, 40, 50 meters out like you were in the beta. Um, So they're looking into that, and hopefully we'll get updates as we get closer to launch date and what those changes to the recoil systems will be. Now, the biggest change that people have been talking about when it comes to Battlefield 6 and the developers and the changes that they've made, the movement mechanics have been completely reworked, or not completely reworked, but they've been fine tuned to a more manageable state within the realm of a Battlefield game. I'm sure a bunch of you have seen the video of the guy bunny hopping all around the map because there was a kind of an exploit that you could use because Battlefield 6's movement system is based off of momentum. And so if you went to go vault over something, and you hit it just right with the right amount of speed, you would essentially launch yourself forward and get a lot more height into your jump, and you could bunny hop in order to uh, extend that so you could get wild movement characteristics that were not intended for the game. So Dice and EA have dialed in on those. So as you can see here, all of this information I'll be putting up on the screen. But yeah, basically, it's they're taking some of that Call of Dutyfication that people were feeling in the beta, which, as far as we can tell, was completely unintended. Um, and then on top of that, we've had many updates when it comes to maps and map reveals and everything like that. I do believe the Battlefield Labs NDAs are no longer in effect. Either way, I'm not a part of it, so take that for what it is. I can only report what I have put in front of me, essentially, since I don't have my hands on the game officially. Um, but yeah, when it comes to the maps, especially with Cairo and Iberia, the rooftop exploits, supposedly they have fixed them. And they say here that the ladder for the assault class is not designed to access those areas. Now, what steps they took to make sure you can't use the ladder to get to those areas, we'll just have to see. Um, I'm kind of a little bit on the fence when it comes to the rooftop exploits because they were in a lot of like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, Bad Company 2, Battlefields 1, 5, 2042 not so much because it was a much more open air type thing. But even in some of those smaller maps, you can do some pretty, you know, crazy things. But yeah, so supposedly there's going to be fixes to all of the maps and everything like that, as far as unintended, um, I guess you call them side effects. But I am almost guaranteeing that somebody somewhere is going to find a way out. Um, but we'll just have to see what comes of that. And then the next thing I wanted to talk about was the browser. Now, a lot of people have been talking about the browser. I want a permanent browser in the game for servers. This is the image that was released to us from EA officially. However, you can see at the top left, this is the Portal server browser, which is good. It's fine. We'll be able to use it. And EA has also confirmed that there will be persistent server browsers, persistent player-made servers, excuse me, and lobbies. So at the very least, we'll be able to have our communities and the like there, but I do want there to be a server browser for the game outside of Portal. I feel like that is the way to go with it. Because it just functions so much better than this drop in, drop out, lobby, disband. I don't want to play the same map on defense 4 or 5 times in a row, you know. So having map rotations and stuff like that, I just feel is just better. It's a better system all around. It's a better experience. And then I also wanted to talk about they released the PC requirements. So as you can see here, I'm actually pretty surprised that they on the minimum specifications for PC are pretty feasible to do. Like this is nothing overpowering. Like 6 gig video memory. That I mean, there are laptops that are going to be able to handle Battlefield 6 just fine, and that's pretty crazy to me. The over here in the ultra settings though, 1440p at 144 frames per second on the high settings. That's insane. That's I'm so ready for that, right? I'm PC user, obviously. So I'll be able to run this on Ultra, apparently, according to this, and that's going to be fantastic. So I think having the high end cap at 144 frames per second or 60 frames per second at 4K, that's beautiful. All right, I think that's right where the gaming market is, to be able to hit your 1080p at 30 frames on the low end and still get your full 60 frames at 4K, or even more than that if you dip the step below 4K. We're in such a beautiful spot when it comes to that. So I'm very excited to see that. Now, the one of the last things I wanted to talk about was there was a 2042 update in which they released a free pass where you can get your Battlefield 6 cosmetics, different gun packs, operator packs, vehicle packs, camos, all that sort of thing, by playing 2042. There's been a little bit of controversy when it comes to that because 2042 is just a inferior game, especially coming off the back of the Battlefield 6 beta and how crisp that felt and how good that felt for a lot of players going into 2042 to get these awards and rewards is a bit of a shock for some people. But in lieu of that, EA has come out and said that every weekend leading into October and the release of Battlefield 6, they will be running double experience weekends on top of their weekly challenges for the free pass. So they want you to get these things, and they're giving us the tools for it, I suppose. Unfortunately, we do still have to play 2042 to get it. And that's just kind of where that's at the moment. Now, on the other end of things, we do have a PC trailer reveal for Battlefield 6, which I'm going to go ahead and do a reaction to here in just a moment. While we're going ahead and loading that up, I'm just going to go ahead and say thank you for stopping by the video. Thank you for getting this far into it. And go ahead and comment down below what your favorite Battlefield game from the entirety of the Battlefield franchise is. I'm a 2142 guy. That's the one that got me into it. Beyond that, it would probably have to be Battlefield 4 and then Bad Company 2 in that very specific order. But yeah, thank you all for coming out to the video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and if you like the content, well, you like the content, and that's all there is to it. Let's get to this reaction. All right, guys. This is the Battlefield 6 PC trailer, just dropped a day ago. I have not had a chance to check it out, so here we are. Let's see what we got. Okay. A man just slumped over. Playing playing Battlefield 6 multiplayer without the God, it looks so good. Without the HUD on is gonna be amazing. Okay, throwing knife. Throwing knife is back. That's execution by sledgehammer. That's insane. The mortar is back. Oh, the mortars are back. Ooh. Hopefully that the beta UI is not the UI on launch. Having all those options is really nice, though. And oh man, I cannot wait for this. That portal mode is going to be insane. Oh, okay, we got a little bit of levolution there. Using the combat ladder. God damn, I'm so excited for that combat ladder. Oh. Man, it looks good. It looks good. No pre-orders, but it looks good. Let's go to this flash screen. October 10th. We're what, 46 or some odd days away? Oh, it cannot come fast enough. I tell you what, guys. That looked amazing. Three very noticeable things from that trailer. Right off the rip is throwing knives are back. Big plus for a lot of people out there. I know people love the throwing knives. And mortars are back, which should be interesting because I wonder if the mortars will be as ineffective as they were in Battlefield 4 after the patch. So, for those that don't know, when Battlefield 4 came out, the mortar system in the game was extremely overpowered. Explosives in general were extremely overpowered. And I wonder if that'll be the case at the beginning of the launch. Will mortars just reign supreme until a patch comes through, or will they be fine-tuned in? Hopefully they're more effective than RPGs when it comes to impacting infantry, because what we saw from the beta was that you needed a dead-on body shot, or you needed to hit somebody direct with the RPG to get a kill. The splash damage was basically non-existent, which is criminal in its own way, but hopefully that gets fixed. And then the third thing was all of the different options within the UI that you can change up and fiddle with and all that. Which is great. I love having all those options. Some of the choicing for what was in the base, at least version of the beta, versus what might be in the game might be a little bit different. If I had to guess, they're going to put the compass on as a default. For some reason, for the beta, they turned it off. So little things like that. My only hope is that when it comes to all those different options, I think they said 600 plus or around 600 options, is that the UI hopefully will feel a little bit more intuitive than it did in the beta, because that was a big cause of frustration for a lot of players, myself included, when trying to navigate through some of those menus, because it was menu into a sub menu into a sub menu into a sub menu. So hopefully it just becomes a little bit easier to navigate, easier to, just a little bit more intuitive. A lot of what we saw seemed to me anyway to be HUD turned off gameplay, which if you didn't do it in the beta, you have got to give it a run a couple games without your HUD and tell me it's not one of the most cinematic experiences in a multiplayer game that you've ever had. Yeah, that was the Battlefield 6 PC trailer. It's looking good. We are 45, 46 days out. I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm going to do. Whew. Yeah,